Hello, 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 hello. How are we all today? Welcome to Mental Health Warriors again on a Friday evening. So an evening with the Warriors. But tonight we're going to be discussing all things opportunities. So obviously I'm joined by, well, when he gets here, Dale Walsh. You all know him. And we've actually got a newest member to the team. We've got Lisa Cressy. Now, obviously, we're going to get to know her and then we're going to dive into opportunities. So let me just kickstart our promo video and please share this all. See you later. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. Welcome to the team as well.
Thank you. I'm really pleased to be here. So, yeah, thanks for the welcome.
Yeah. So what have you thought about it so far?
Well, it's early days at the moment, isn't it? But it's really good. I think when we first started to chat, we've got the same kind of ethos and we've got the same kind of thought process on, mental well-being, and are both really passionate about it. And I can see that everybody involved is the same. So that's really exciting.
Absolutely. Same mission. That's what we're on. Same mission.
Yeah.
So opportunities like this clearly is an opportunity to you to get you to grow, probably get your story out there. I don't know. So I think obviously I know your first show, which is coming up, which in a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, whenever that is. I know you'll be probably getting your story out then, but give viewers a little bit of insight into who you are and what you do. I'll give you the platform.
Yeah, no, brilliant. So a little bit about me. So I've made some sort of massive changes in my life recently. So I had a background of very much working in the corporate environment as a coach and as other different roles. But recently I've gone full time into mindset coaching and hypnotherapy, which I absolutely love. So my background is in psychology. I did a psychology degree, and then I kind of just moved into other jobs over the last kind of like 15-20 years, and then reignited my passion back into everything sort of mental well-being and psychology a few years ago, and now sort of full-time I'm working as a mindset coach and hypnotherapist, which is absolutely amazing. And what I enjoy most is kind of seeing the shift in people, so you can really help people, so I focus on things like people with anxiety or building confidence, or sometimes when you just don't know where you are in life, so you're a little bit lost, and also beating those kind of self-sabotaging habits that we all have as well. So any day I can be working with a completely different client, a different age, different background, different issues, and that's what I absolutely love. So yeah, really enjoy it.
So you can call yourself the habit breaker.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I love it. I love a new challenge. So people are like, oh, I've got this strange habit. Is there, do people have this? I'm like, oh, I love a new challenge. So if you've got something that can help eliminate, then I love that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So obviously I know we all come across both opportunities and barriers, but tell us the little bit of difference in both, because in my view, I believe barriers can also be opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of the time it's actually self-imposed barriers, isn't it, to get us to the opportunity. So I think that what we do, I know I've got an absolute history of doing this. It seems to be what we all do is we kind of create a cage for ourselves. So we kind of think this is our life. This is what, Adam can do. That's his limits. Or this is what Lisa can do. And I need to sort of live within here. And then there's all of these opportunities that sort of come up, amazing opportunities, but we kind of go, but I'm not intelligent enough for that. I'm not young enough for that. I'm not strong enough for that. You kind of like say, well, maybe if I did all of this, I'll get there. But I think it's about those barriers, kind of like releasing the limits on yourself so that you can go after all those opportunities. And I know what you mean about the kind of like opportunities and barriers or obstacles can be kind of the same thing sometimes, because you can think of something as really difficult, but actually there's always a flip side. There's kind of like, that looks like it could be like a really bad thing, but actually something good could come out of it.
Absolutely. And we find it so easy just to let opportunity just go right past us and ignore them, and not actually give the opportunity a chance to see if it actually works for us or whether it doesn't work. Because even if it doesn't work, that's still okay.
It is. And I think we need to be more comfortable with the word failure. So, because we're so scared, aren't we? To like, well, if I try that and I put myself out there, I might get ridiculed, or I won't be able to do it and I'll feel really bad about it. And actually, if you think about failure as a really good thing.
Hi, Dale.
Hi, you're right.
Hi, I made it up finally.
Hello.
Can you hear me and everything?
You're quite quiet.
I was trying to listen to you, but I couldn't get on. So,
well, you're here now.
I just heard you talk about failure. I can add something to that when you're finished. So,
yeah, I was just saying, yeah, how we think about failure, and actually we should think about it maybe as not such a bad thing, because actually if you try to do something and you succeed, then great, you've gone out there after a new opportunity and you've succeeded. But if you go after something and you fail, that's actually not failure. It's you've learned how not to do that thing next time. You know, when you think about all these people that sort of get to where they get to and succeed, there's been a load of failures, there's been a load of trying beforehand, and actually failure is just trying. You know, it's you either succeed somewhere or you grow. So it's always win-win. I feel like if you go after the opportunity, you either succeed, you fail, but you learn something.
well, what I was going to say is Thomas Edison. You know who that is? He's a famous American. Yeah. He's the guy who invented the light bulb, and took him like 10,000 tries to like invent the light bulb. And along the way, someone said, you know, how does it feel that you failed 10,000 times? And he said, I haven't failed once. I every time I learn something new. So, you know, people have to look at failure as like a lesson that they're learning. And, you know, I mean, you can't expect success all the time. And, you know, the more people fail, the more they're going to get up and be better in the future.
Yeah, better, stronger. I love that. Yeah.
I totally agree. And I'm just putting a comment in now, which I'm going to pin when it actually lets me. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so true, isn't it?
First attempt in learning, because we have to experience failure before we can actually succeed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just figuring out different ways that it doesn't work, isn't it? It's just figuring out different things. And I think it is, if you just learn from it each time, then that's great. I think failure is only if you do something, don't learn from it, do the same thing again, but expect there to be a different outcome, you know?
Absolutely. And like, let's get back to opportunities. So what opportunity did you see? I know we were talking briefly before we came live, but what opportunity did you see with the Warriors? Like, what vision?
Yeah, I mean, it was about us working together, because we did have the same kind of mission, the same vision. So, you know, the opportunities there. So I just thought collaboration with anyone who's going after a similar thing, or it's something that you're really passionate about. If you can collaborate with anyone else, I think your reach can be even more. You can help even more people. You know, people working together, coming together. At the end of the day, we want the same thing, don't we? We want to be able to reach as many people as we can and make a difference, so that people don't feel like they're alone. And actually, we can kind of make that shift on how people perceive mental well-being, and actually that shift on people's mental well-being as well. So it was, the opportunity was the collaboration to kind of do the same thing.
Absolutely. Go on, Dale.
Well, as for the opportunity I found in Mental Health Warriors, is you know, it's like it's you say, you know, when people unite in a cause, then they really like work a lot better. You know, the sum is greater than the whole. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So the more we like think and ending, and also, just like talking about problems and everything, the more you're going to reach people. And the important thing is the ripple effect. I mean, even though I might not have many people like watching my show live, you never know what effect is going to have on one person that could change the world. And it's just like, with YouTube and the archives and everything, you can influence people at any time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And
It only
as
takes one
for the mental health warriors, it's just like it's been a great trip, Adam. I meant we've been a lot, and we're going to go through a lot more. And never quit. That's our motto, and that's the thing we gotta like pursue.
Absolutely, yeah, and that comes with me as well, because obviously just the other day my mental health wasn't in a great place, but I pulled through, and here I am right now, smiling. Yeah, it's not a full smile, but it's still something.
Yeah, and it is just about taking those small steps, isn't it? And that's what not quitting is about. It doesn't matter how small a step you make, just keep going and make that small step and be proud about that small step.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You saying something, Dale?
Well, having been exposed to the vaccine, I know how many times you need to quit, Adam, but you never have, and that's very admirable. And you're the point man of the organization, and we need you. And if you quit, then it sort of validates the whole concept. So I'm just saying that to like sort of put you on the spot, so you won't quit. But we all know your struggles, and things. We all struggle, but ultimately we have to just like take one day or as I say, one day at a time, and just like go forward and one day at a time. Yeah, I live a day-to-day existence, instead of a day-to-day existence. So, but just be strong, and sometimes you think you're weak and you can't do it, and that's one thing I've learned in your job. So, action destroys fear, and if you take action, then you'll be amazed at what you can do, no matter even when you don't think you can do anything.
Absolutely, and that's our motto: #NeverQuit.
Right.
Love that.
Yeah.
So, I missed what you were saying. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, could you give like a 30-minute summary of how you came to be? I missed it because I'm trying to get on.
Sorry, I was missing that. You were going in and out for me there.
Okay.
That's America for you.
Yeah. Could you just give like a 30-second summary of like how you came to be here? Because I missed it. I was trying to get on, and I missed your explanation. So, could you like just give a 30-second summary?
Yeah, sure. I was just explaining about how I sort of came to be a mindset coach as well, and how that was all very opportunistic. And this is, we're talking about opportunities, and actually how I came to be here was very much everything kind of aligned, didn't it, Adam? It was an opportunity we just kind of grabbed. And I think it was basically it all started off because our names are very similar. So I'm set up the business Mind Warrior Coaching, and so this was Mental Health Warriors, and then we just sort of started.
I reached out, didn't I? I reached out.
You did. So, and that was so that was really opportunistic, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, and then we just got chatting, and then if we hadn't have done that, we wouldn't have kind of known about we're both really passionate about the same things, and then sort of going forward from there. So that's how it all kind of came about, and then obviously having the chats with you recently as well, about putting on a new show and things like that. So it was definitely something where we just grabbed the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Now, did you have a diagnosis? I mean, hey, have you ever been hospitalized or anything, or are you coming basically a point of view of good mental health? Because I was hospitalized 15 times, but that ended basically in 2005. But
Yeah.
so have you ever had like mental health challenges that or are you just like coming from a point of good perspective?
No, don't we all have challenges? So I think we all have challenges, and yeah. So I've come on a big journey, and I think the reason why I've gone into, I mean, I did a psychology degree, so it's always been sort of mental well-being has always been a passion of mine. But why I've gone back into mindset coaching and hypnotherapy is because I've had my own struggles, and then I've actually worked out ways that have really helped me, and then I've wanted to go into this industry and help others. But my struggles were really to do a lot with self-belief and confidence, and just having that overwhelming fear cripples you, that you just feel like you're not good enough and that you can't go for anything, and it just absolutely stifles all the joy out of your life. Everything's really, really difficult, and actually it's mentally draining, and you just have no energy. So for me, I've really worked on that confidence and feeling like I'm actually good enough and worthy, and just being, rather than having to do everything for everybody. And when I noticed how the sort of things could help with hypnotherapy and coaching and mindset work and just all that self-development, that's why it just ignited my passion to help others.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, Lisa. I hope you didn't.
Happy to share.
Well, when it comes to being on the spot, that's all what we're always about. Because because when it comes to the shows and stuff like that, we give each guest their own spot, their own spotlight to getting their story out there. That's their opportunity. But the thing is, we've had guests saying, "Oh, can you send me questions and all that?" And we're like, "No, we don't want to." And that's not being stubborn or selfish. That's to make it raw. So then the viewers aren't predicted saying, "Oh, well, we already know that," because people actually watch body language when it comes to being on camera. And then if they know, well, what's going on here, they know about each other, they switch off. And that ain't what we want. We want people to be intrigued and inspired by these stories. This is why we don't send questions, and we keep it raw, and that's what we're all about.
Mm.
I love it when people say to me, "That's a question no one's ever asked me." That like really like lights up my show when people say that. It's just like, and I mean, as you know, Adam, I don't know if you watch me, Lisa, but I just like go with the flow. What I do is I usually like talk on a Zoom call, like for like 30 minutes to an hour before the show, just to get a sense of the person, and then we just wing it and have a conversation. And I think that's the best way to like interview people, is just to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, but obviously Dale likes interviewing. I don't like the word interview because I feel like that puts a pressure on both the guest and the host. And Dale likes putting pressure on me all the time. But it's all right. I love this guy. But even then, I see it as a discussion, but with questions. Because that's all this is. Like, there's no host here right now. We're all leading this.
Yeah. Just having a nice chat.
I think a nice compromise, Adam, is conversation.
Absolutely. Yes. And I was hoping Sam could come on. Sam from Australia, Samantha Clough, because her show is actually called Compassion Conversations with Sam. That's her show. So, yeah. So it's brilliant. But I know it's like 4 or 5 a.m. where she is now.
Yeah, it's asking quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is what it is, because mental health, it can impact anyone at any time, at any age. And this is what we do. We've made this a global community. Do I see this as an organization or a business? No, I don't. I see this as us building this national community. So we get all these little voices come together, one big voice, more chance we're going to get heard.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of building a community, I see we have Robert on, and he's one of my most faithful followers, and
he follows us all. Yeah, if you want to see the comments, Lisa, you just click comments on your side.
Oh yeah, I'm just on the private chat. Oh yes.
Yeah, you need to get out the private chat. That's between the horse and the guest. Yeah, but there you go. Robert, he's from Canada.
Okay. Yeah. Faithful follower.
Oh, he's a faithful follower. He's a faithful sharer as well. He likes sharing stuff. I know he's going to share this. So, yeah. We just need Dale to reactivate his Facebook so that he can start sharing.
I'll see what I can do. You keep pushing me, and I'll get around to the rest.
Oh, right. But going back on topic, opportunities, they can also be mistakes as well. So what do you think about that when people make mistakes?
Make things what?
With opportunities, they can obviously lead you to greatness, but they can also trigger you to do a mistake, lead you to a mistake. So what do you think about that?
Well, it's like failure. There's no real thing is like failure. There's no real thing. Failure is no real thing is a mistake. Unless you get sent to jail, and even that is part of your life, and that I believe to a certain degree in predestination. So in a lot of ways, yeah, free will, but on the other hand, your free will can lead to mistakes. But every mistake that you have is Robert just said, it's a teacher. And
absolutely.
It's only in the mind as a perceiver that it's a mistake, or
Yeah, and I think that's enough. Yeah, I was just agreeing with you, Dale, there, and Robert as well. That I think that's it's around our point that we were saying at the start, wasn't it, about failure, and then actually if you just keep learning from it. But often you can see it as a mistake to begin with, can't you? And then actually if you take a bit of time, take a bit of a backward step and reflect on it, and then be a bit sort of curious about it and think, well, actually, is there any opportunity at this? Is there any learning? Once you might be like really upset about something at the time, but once you sort of look back on it, it's the biggest opportunity for growth then, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that's reflective practice right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. See, I've got a PPE here. It's plan, process, execute. And that's what people need to do. Plan everything and then process it. But people forget to process. They do the plan, but then they execute, or they just execute and forget to plan and process it. So it's like we're trying to teach. Like, we are our biggest teacher. Like, I know there's teachers out there, but we're the best teacher for ourselves, our mental well-being. And when we're processing our emotions, it all links back to communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to put you on the spot, Adam, and could you explain a little more what you mean by process?
Process? Well, process anything. Process, I don't know, if you're planning a day out or you're planning what to do with your life, and that's it. Because this time last year, I didn't have a plan. I didn't have one, but a couple of months ago, 2-3 months ago, I made a plan that I wanted to get my PhD in psychology. I'm now going to university twice a week. Well, once because one's on strike, but twice a week, and yeah, I'm redoing my maths and English. And I'm going to go out and study psychology.
So I'm just trying to like pinpoint between plan and execute. What's the process? What's the process?
The planning. Well, it's structuring the direction. I think you can help me with this, Lisa. It's basically structuring of what you're going to do in your life, like what direction, what type of path are you going to take? Because you've got all these doors which are coming at you, and they're all opening, but it's which one are you going to go through? Which opportunity are you going to grab?
Yeah, it's your own. It's your own
Initiative,
sort of,
isn't it?
yeah, and your own sort of brainstorming. It's kind of like, what are all the opportunities? And once you start to plan them, I'm a massive fan of mind maps. So I love to just have something in the middle and then think about all of the spider webs going up. To think, I don't know. I didn't know if someone was coming in there. Yeah.
No,
so
no one's coming in. They'll come at the bottom if they're coming in.
that's just the voices then in my. So just hearing background. Yeah. Yeah, massive fan of mind mapping. So that's my way of planning. I start off with it being really, really messy, but I just like to get everything down on paper. And then to have that kind of build it into some sort of structure, like you said, and then you know where to go, because without that, it's kind of, and there's loads of evidence as well that people who write down a plan, people who actually have that plan in the mind and then write it down are much more successful than people who don't, because you've got that goal, you've got that visualization. It's like having a vision board or just knowing where the direction of travel is. And writing that all down and planning, you're much more likely to increase your chances of getting there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about a plan, I saw a statistic, you know, it was on YouTube or something, or Instagram or something, but they said, 98% of executives say that a plan is important, but only 3% have a plan. And
that's true.
Once you write down a plan, then you present it to the universe. I mean, this might be a little woo-woo, but once you write down the plan, you have something to present to the universe, and the universe will start helping you like achieve it. But without like a written plan, and reviewing that plan. I mean, in my company, they say read your business plan twice a day just to like reinforce it in your head, and and like read it aloud so that you're saying it to the universe too.
Yeah. So you'll know this, Adam, with the psychology as well, is your subconscious mind, which controls most of what we do, always wants to make it true whatever you tell it. So if you're hearing things or writing down things or saying things in your sort of logical and conscious mind, your subconscious mind wants to make it true. So anything that we tell ourselves, we write down. It's kind of like the blueprint for our lives. So if we're unclear and we're unsure, then right there in our minds, it's going to be, we're not really sure what we're doing. If we're really clear, we're telling ourselves, we're telling the universe, let's make this happen.
Well, I'm going to give a prime example there. I'll let you talk in a minute, Dale. I'm going to give a prime example there. This is to everyone tuning in now, or even on the replay. If I tell you right now, think of a pink elephant, automatically you're going to think of one. That's a prime example.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that your subconscious, they found that the subconscious mind does not process negatives. So instead of saying I don't want to be poor, if you say I want to be wealthy, because if you say I don't want to be poor anymore, then the mind just like says, the subconscious just hears I want to be poor, because it doesn't have like any filter for the negative, and it also has no filter for like knowing what's right and what's wrong and what's real and what's not real. So ultimately, you got to, if you're doing a plan, avoid the negatives. Don't use I'm not going to, or I'm like, for instance, I'm not going to miss going to the gym 3 times a week. Instead say I am going to the gym 3 times a week, and that's like puts a positive spin on it. And because if you say no or not, or I'm not, never to your subconscious, then it's going to react to the exact opposite.
Exactly. And that example of Adam with the elephant. So if I said, don't think about a pink elephant, what are you thinking about now?
A pink elephant.
Exactly. But I said don't, but it doesn't process the negative. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm taking the word no there. I made the biggest mistake here. And this is a prime example. Telling the kids no. They've now also they struggle to what no means. They know what yes means, but they don't know what no means, and that's that I'm actually taking the blame for, because I've actually taught them that no really means next opportunity.
Okay.
So that's why they're constantly persisting with things. So hands up, I'm to blame. but I'm the right tracks with it though.
Well, yeah, one thing that I found, I read about is, no is like the most common word that children hear, just because like people like want to help people, kids grow up and everything. So one suggestion I heard was, instead of saying no, never say no, just say stop, and that's like a much better word because it'll stop the person from doing it. But on the other hand, you're not like being negative.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're about to like stick a fork in a wall outlet, I'm sorry, that's me.
Dale's phone's always going off.
But so if a kid is about to stick a fork into a wall outlet and you say stop, instead of no, then he's going like stop, and he knows what to do. It's a call to action. Whereas no is just like a negative, and he doesn't understand. What you just said about it, Adam. He doesn't know what's going. He doesn't know how to interpret it.
See, you learn something new every day.
And I'm going to use it over the weekend now, Dale. That's it. I'm going to use it with my kids. It's just going to be stop.
I'm actually going to do that myself. Yes. But anyway, let's take a break while Dale answers the phone.
My phone gave up.
Give up. Yeah, right. Yeah, but that's how it is with opportunities. I don't like giving advice because that's practically telling someone what to do. I like to recommend or give guidance is jump at every opportunity you can, whether they work or whether they don't. Give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go. And sometimes it only takes, like, what do they say, 20 seconds of bravery to go for that opportunity. It doesn't actually take you to be, I've got to do all of this. Like you say, just give it a go. Just a quick, 20 seconds. Send that email, reach out to someone, just try something new. Just try it for 20 seconds or a minute, and that's all it takes to kind of shift, doesn't it?
Yes. Dale, what would you give?
Well, what I would say in reaction to that is respond, don't react. Instead of like just like because reaction is spontaneous. It's like someone says you're an idiot. Your immediate reaction is why or you hit him in the face, punch him in the face or something. That's a reaction, but a response is you take that like little moment before action and you say why do you say that? Why are you calling me an idiot? And that's a response because it throws the onus back on the other person to respond. And so that's the thing that came to my mind is the importance of response versus reaction.
I want to touch on that before we wrap up. Is I was live on TikTok earlier, and I was, what time were it? About 3:30 it was, and I had over 150 people tuned in on TikTok, which I've never had before, and only get about 10, 20 people. But I had 150, and half of them was trying to troll me. Like, they were calling me ginger, they were calling me fat and all that. And literally, normally, I take that to heart and I take it personally. But I was actually thanking them for calling me that, not those names. Because at the end of the day, it actually gets that bully to think, what do I say now? Because I can't get to this person.
Yeah, when you don't rise to it.
Yeah, you're not rising to it. And there's been time where they've attacked my parents, and I've actually, because my parents are narcissists, both of them, I can openly admit that, I was actually agreeing with them, and they stopped talking about it then.
Right.
Because that's your initial response.
Well, that's the response, not reaction. Reaction is to like pull back, but the response is, thank you.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm going to wrap up, and I'll see you all later.
Okay.
See you later.
Thanks a lot, Adam.